Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one we're going to be taking a look at my Raquel with the Yeet Maker on her. So Raquel is one of the more interesting spots for it, to be honest, because I'm a big fan of improving your quality of life in the game. And if you don't have Powerhouse Nikki, Abby Cross the Witch, um, Nikki Cross the Witch, I'm sorry, Abby the Witch, whatever, she's going to be your best powerhouse with the Yeet drip if you have it. Also, a huge fan of getting the modern era strap on the prize wall that you can make the Yeet Maker with, because you could then put it on your best male character all the time. And during lady events, just swap it over to Raquel. You don't really want to primarily use, if you only have one Yeet drip, it's tough to put it on a lady because they're used in events maybe a quarter of the time of the dudes. So my Yeet Maker unfortunately got the bottom roll 100%. We got 100% strap, JD drip. Whenever you make 6 column break gems, make 7 random gems into multiply strength 7, and the Yeet plate, whenever you make 6 column break gems, increase all your gem damage by 500% for 1 turn. And it's very similar to JD McDonough. This is just regular Fury 2s for the purpose of testing this. Obviously, Fury 3s would be better. Moveset, shoulder block, 8 MP, and it does not get bigger. I'm checking these now. 6x2, 7 strength. Deal 297k damage and choose a 6x2 area to make into multiply gems of strength 7. Scoop slam, 1 million, make the bottom 3 rows into column breaks, 8 MP and 6 MP respectively. And then 6 MP green, 174k damage, and choose 7 gems to make into red gems. Also, doesn't get bigger. All right, so Entourage, right? Pretty straightforward. We need to get to 8 red MP and 6 green MP, so we need Raquel. And then Andre is great here for the +2 to the multiply and the 2 red. If you don't have him, Bulldog, British Bulldog, 2 red MP, 45% red gem damage is who I would sub, right? So those two give us 4 and 2 for 6. Our turn is 7, and Santa Hogan gives us 8 red MP. And then 4 green, 5 for turn, and Santa gives us 6. So loaded in Showdown, as long as there's not MP down, loaded in Feud, loaded in Boss Battle, loaded everywhere. And then choose 7 red gems. And I like Bailey here. For red gems and multiply gems do 60% more damage. You could also potentially make a good case for generate red gems here, to be honest. So like, I think Naya is red and 3. And then, what's her face? Zombie Bianca is generate 3. Then you'd be choosing 10. You could put the reds on the multiply gems. I will maybe run it both ways just to show you, but losing 60% on all your multiply gems is probably not good considering her area is large. So let's get out here. I'll show you on Jade Cargill how she hits. Pretty straightforward. As long as you don't screw up with your choosing, you're good. Put the multiply gems out first and try and put it on a group of red, obviously, if you can. Then put your column breaks. And then you just do your choose. So set a row break on the bottom or middle, it doesn't matter. There's a wild card here. I would normally say put it on the loot box, but the wild card will screw us up, so we'll just do that. And then we want to get rid of these loot box gems and then make 9 times into red. So really straightforward, really simple, 94 million hit, right? The only question really, trainer-wise, and I think Bailey is going to be better, would be using like Naya for 3 more red gems, but I think Bailey outweighs that with the 60% on all of them. I'll run a couple times for you guys so you can see, and then we'll just put Naya on and run a couple as well just for fun, because we're not doing anything too crazy in this one. Of course, when you can get a bunch of red gems together, that's even better, and stay away from that, right? Because you don't want to have to cover any loot box gems ideally, so you can focus on getting those 9 times into red. We still have to do 1, not the end of the world. We are going to absolutely take this. It'll save us a red to put on a multiply. And now we're like kind of off to the races, right? Oop. 89 million on that one. It's very, very effective. Good things are there's no gem buff to get countered and no MP up to get countered. You just worry about the multiply counter, which you do see a fair amount of in the ladies game because Indy counters multiplies, Tiffany Stratton counters multiplies. I think there's one more that's fairly common to see that I'm blanking on right now. So that's like the only downside, is you have to watch out for the multiply gem counters. But the good side is you don't have to worry about MP up or in Technician Live. And then gem percentage in Hall of Fame Molly. So, you know, both have their benefits. We're going to take the row break here. Good. We can just focus hard on these 9 times. Let's get the, like that. That should be pretty decent. 87 million again. So it's a consistent, like, 85 to 95 if you get a cascade. The 95, you know, the extra gems, because they're above 500%. Isn't nothing? But pretty consistent, right? It doesn't do nearly as well without the yeet plate. Like JD can be run without the yeet plate. Raquel can't really, in my opinion. I think you could potentially still do fine without the JD drip and just the yeet, but definitely won't hit hard enough without the yeet for sure. And then let's just try one with Naya or Zombie Bianca, whichever one I find first. Zombie Bianca it is. Naya would be 30% red gem damage, so she would be obviously slightly better. Also, check your Facebook Messenger. Someone just messaged you. Alexa, play Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. You're welcome. We can choose a lot more reds. I don't know that it's going to equate. I mean, that was 90 million. Maybe it's possible that choosing the extra reds is better than Zombie Bailey, because that's not even Raquel. It's a couple more gems to choose, though. So slightly longer, but if you don't have Zombie Bailey or she's in use somewhere else, I mean, if you have a yeet drip, you probably have Zombie Bailey, let's be real. But you never know, right? You never know. Weirder things have happened, y'all. And to maximize their damage, you should really see which gem is their secondary color. I'm assuming it's green or blue, but I don't know that for sure. So you would want to leave those if possible, right? Except for when they're 9 times, in which case we'll take the blue. And we're going to take the green. Because we have so many reds to choose. 92 million. I feel like the choose is more consistent. Yeah. I do think that's the way to go. I think it's a little bit more consistent, right? Let me try one more. That's been really good results. Kind of starting to become a believer in using the bigger choose, although, like I said, it's a few more clicks. So it's kind of whatever's clever, whatever's your preference. I'm generally a fan of less clicks, as you guys know, so let's be consistent, Mherex. But it is kind of nice damage-wise. I also like consistent damage, so you have a really good idea of your output. I like knowing exactly what I'm going to do. And I guess, sure. Yeah, 92 million. So that's a super, super consistent 92 mil. Like I said, as far as Lady Powerhouses, if you can put her in this combo, I think really the only one better is going to be where the game is at now, especially, is Abby the Witch. I used to prefer Zombie Chelsea because she was simpler, but Zombie Chelsea needs so much NOD Rock, Leo, and Howdy. And then she doesn't hit quite as hard, and that used to not be an issue, but with the 40% buff that everyone gets free in Feud, I feel like that is an issue. It needs to be factored in. So I think sometimes Chelsea hits just a little not hard enough, even with crazy, crazy stuff. Whereas I think Raquel is always going to hit hard enough pretty much. So there's that. They both have the multiply counter issue. So I think it's pretty fair comparison. But if you have, you would have options, but I think I would probably lean towards Raquel in the current state of the game. That could of course change with one trainer, with one way Feud is worked and stuff like that. They both have their advantage and disadvantage should there ever be Lady Boss Battle. I mean, obviously Chelsea's going to crush purple. They're both going to do solid and multiply, and Raquel could probably do some really interesting stuff with blues. Because she's got the Juggernaut blue thing going on. So I think, all in all, if you don't have Abby and you can do the Yeet Drip, I think Raquel is a huge green light to take up for now currently, because Lady Powerhouse is one of the most lacking lady classes. It's just not very deep and there's very few options. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. And remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching and good luck out there. This one's kind of long overdue. I should have actually done this one a long time ago. I took her up to gold like a few months ago and messed around with the Yeet Drip on her and was going to do it then and just never did.